This video is about this worksheet, okay? And when you are going to prove whether they are identity or not, you're going to do it from the left hand side first and then to the right hand side, okay? You do the expansion, so you have this one with you, and then you can see that because for left hand side and right hand side they are identical, then you can say that yes, it is an identity, okay? And then for this one, you do the expansion, so you will have this one with you, and the door, you will have this one. And now for the right hand side, this is equals to 7 times this. So when you multiply in, you have 7x plus 7. Okay, and because left hand side, right, okay, for the right hand side, therefore it is an identity. For this one, you just have to expand it so that you know this become x squared plus 5x minus 7x minus 35, and then you have x squared minus 2x minus 35, and therefore because left hand side is identical to right hand side, so it is an identity. Okay, for this one, if they have different denominator, then you just make sure that they have the same. So this one you multiply by 2, then minus this one you multiply by 3. Okay, so this one you have 2x minus 2 over 6 minus 3x over 6, and then you will have minus x minus 2 over 6. Okay, or you can have this one, take out the negative sign, so this is equals to the right hand side. Okay, because left hand side identical to right hand side, so it is an identity. Okay, to prove they are not identity, again, you just have to do it like left hand side equals to 5x minus 2 and then minus 2x. Okay, so here plus 2x. And then you have 7x minus 2. Okay, so because left hand side is not equals to right hand side, so it is not. Okay, and then for this one, for the left hand side, you have 1/2 times this one. So after you do the expansion, you have 4 minus 8x. For right hand side, you have negative 4 times 2x plus 1. So you have negative 8x minus 4. Okay, so they are not the same. Therefore, it is not an identity. And for this one, again, we do it with left hand side and then right hand side. So you have x times this one plus 1 times this one, and then you have x squared plus 2x plus x plus 2 equals to x squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay, for right hand side, you have this one with you. So after you expand it, you can see they are not the same because left hand side is not equals to right hand side, so it is not an identity as well. And for this one, left hand side equals to 2x plus 3 to the power 2, and then you just have this one. Okay, you expand it. So in terms of expand it, you just have this and you have this. Okay, so I write it like this, so that you 4x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 9. So at the end, you have 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. And for right hand side, that will be 4x squared plus 3x plus 6 like this, and then you expand it, so you have 4x squared plus 12x plus 6. And because left hand side is not equals to right hand side, so it is not an identity. When you see the term identical or determined, that means you have to see whether it is or not. So you have to prove it. Okay. So once again, we start with left hand side. So you copy it and then simplify it. So you have 3x minus 6 plus 18. And therefore you have 3x plus 12. So right hand side, okay, that will be equals to 3 times x plus 6. So you have 3x plus 18. Okay, because you can see left hand side is not equals to right hand side, so it is not an identity. Okay, it's not an identity. And for this one, we do it with the left hand side first. Then you have 5 times y minus 1 plus 2 times this one. So you simplify the term, and then you have to put the like term together. So you will have this one with u, so you have 7y plus 1. Okay, and then for right hand side, is equals to 7 times y plus 1 minus 6. So we have this one with u. It means you have 7y plus 1. And because left hand side identical to right hand side, so it is an identity. Okay. Okay, for this one, you just have to do it from the left hand side and then right hand side again. So you will have this one with you. Okay, first of all, 2x plus 4, okay, like this. And then you have 2x times x minus 2 plus 4 times x minus 2. So you have 2x squared minus 4x plus 4x minus 8. Group the like term, and then you have 2x squared minus 8. Okay, it is exactly equals to right hand side, so you can say because left hand side identical to right hand side, so it is an identity. Okay, and for this one, you have left hand side equals to x plus 4 times x plus 2. So you have x times x plus 2 plus 4 times x plus 2. So you have x squared plus 2x plus 4x plus 8. So you have x squared plus 6x plus 8. And for right hand side, okay, that will be x plus 3 to the power 2. What you have will look like this. So you can expand it and get what you want. And that should equals to x squared plus 6x plus 9. So you know that because left hand side is not equals to right hand side, and therefore it is not an identity. And then for this one, you are going to find out the value of a and b. Okay, so actually they are identical, so left hand side and right hand side, they should be balanced. So you can just expand it first all the time like this, and then rearrange the order so that you have the position, okay, to match. So now you can just, by comparing the like terms, you know a equals to -2 and b equals to 3. Okay, and then for this one, again, you just have to expand it. Therefore, you have 2x squared minus like this. Okay, and then simplify the term. Okay, group the like terms. You will know it. Okay, for the value of a and b and c. So by comparison, okay, you know it will be a equals to 2, b equals to 7, c equals to -4. This time you can see that the unknown on the left hand side and right hand side. Therefore, again, you just have to do it like to solve, okay, and then you can solve it. Okay, I know it. Okay, again, by comparison, you can tell that, okay, c actually equals to 3, a equals to 5, and for b equals to -9. Okay, for this one you're going to use the identity. Therefore, you just have to make sure that you can recognize this one. So I have x squared minus 16. For this one, again, just identify the term. Okay, so you have this order at the end. You have 100 minus y squared. For this one, you just have to identify it again. So this will be 3z minus 1 like this, and then you have 9z squared minus 1. Okay. For this one, you can basically identify. It will look like this. This time it is not that easy for you to see. Okay, that should be look like this, because you should know the addition do not affect the value. Okay, for this one, you have to identify which will be the A and which will be the B, and then at the end you will have this for your answer. Okay, for this one, if you can see it easily, then actually just like this. Okay, and then you have h squared minus 81k squared. For this one, this time if you reverse the order first, then probably you can do it easily. Okay, so that is what you should do in the first step. Okay, you will rearrange the order, and at the end you have 49s squared minus 4r squared. Okay, for this one, basically you just consider what is the first one, what is the last one, and then you have 9a squared b squared minus 1. For this one, you should handle the identity part first. So you should do this one first, and then you have 1 minus 16g squared, and you multiply in, so you have 3 minus 3 times 16g squared, which was 3 minus 48g squared. For this question, you should handle the identity part first, and then you handle the bracket at the end. Therefore, you have p squared minus like this, and then you change it back. Okay, so at the end you have 64 minus p to the power 4. Okay, for this one, again, just use the identity directly. Okay, so you have this one with you like this. Okay, for this one, you can handle what is inside first. So this is what you have, and then remove it, okay, one by one, and then you will have this one. Okay, for this one, basically you use the identity, okay, and you put it in one by one. Okay, so first one t here, and then the last one 1 and 1 here. So you have t squared plus 2t plus 1. Okay, and then for this one, the same apply. Please fill in the bracket first, and then put on 8 for the first one and r for the last one. Okay, like this. So you have 64 minus 16r plus r squared. And then have this one. This time you're going to put it yourself. So make sure that you remember the brackets should look like this. Okay, and then you put it back. Here 2s, 3 here, and 3 here. So you have 4s squared plus 12s plus 9. And for this one, you will have same apply. Okay, 4a here, 4a here, 7, 7. So I have 49 minus 56a plus 16a squared. Okay, for this one, again, you have to do the identity first, and then you use the bracket. Okay, so 5 minus, and then put it back. What you have here will be h, and then this one 5 and h here. And that is why you have 25 minus 10h plus h squared. So once you reverse it, you have this one to be your answer. And for this one, okay, do it again. Okay, like this. So you have to put it back in order. That is why if you put them in order, you can find it like this. For this one, basically you can just use the same method. That means now you just have to put it back, okay, like this. So you have 10 here, 10 here, negative q and negative q here. So you have q squared plus 20q plus 100. For this one, just use the identity again, and then you can find out the answer. Okay, like this. And therefore, you have the answer to be 22pq plus 121q squared. For this one, just use the identity, and then you can find out the value. Okay, find out the value. You can see the practice will be you fill in the bracket for the first one and the last one, and then you fill in the middle one. Okay, like that. That should be easier for true. And then for this one, okay, you will have to use the same technique to solve it. That is why, if you can be very careful, you can find that it is not that difficult for true to deal with this kind of problem. Okay, and this one you have to deal with the bracket first, and then deal with the content outside. Okay, so like this one, you will have to have 25 plus 40 set plus 16 set square, which is equals to 125 plus 200 set plus 80 set square. For this one, you are going to use the identity, so that will be look like this. Again, just put the bracket. Okay, fill in the content. All the time remember, fill in the first one or the last one, and then the middle one. Okay, and for this one, same apply. So you have this format. So you have 4 minus 6y plus 9y squared over 4. And for this one, you use the same technique. Okay, this time you have 2 squared and 3a plus 8 squared. Okay, because you have to distribute the index to both of them. Okay, so this time you will have 3a squared plus 2, and then 3a here and 8 here plus 8 squared. So you have 4, and then here 9a squared plus 48a plus 64, and then you have 36a plus 192a plus 2, 5, 6. Okay. Going to find out this value without using a calculator. That means you have to use the identity. So how do you use the identity to find it? Basically, you consider it to be like this, okay? And then you can use the identity to help you. Okay, look like this one. And then for this one, I guess you can do the calculation easier compare to what you know. Okay, so this is what you have. Then for this one, if you are going to do it, that should look like this. Okay, and then you have this with you. So you have 2500, okay, 00 plus 1000 plus 1, so which will give you 251001, okay. Okay, when we are going to factorize it, you take out the common factor before arbitrating them. So this is why at the end you have this to be your answer. Okay, this is your answer. Okay, for this one, this time you will take 5. Okay, so you have 3x and 4y here. So at the end, you will have your answer to be 3x minus 4y, like this. Okay, this time, for this one, you can basically take out 3 and x. Okay, so you have 1 plus 3y here. And for this one, you can take out negative 2b. Okay, and then what will remain will be 3a and here plus 5c. For this one, you can take out 5. Okay, and then you have 6x minus 2y plus z. For this one, you can take out negative e, so that you have d here, minus f and plus 4g. For this one, okay, you can take out y, and then you have 8y minus 1. Okay, for this one, you can take out 6 and x, then you have 2 plus 3x squared. Okay, for this one, okay, you can take out 5 and r and also s, so you have r plus 25 here. For this one, you can take out 3x squared and y. So the first one you will have 3x, and last one you will have 5. For this one, you can take out x only, so you will have x cubed plus x minus 2. For this one, you can take out negative 4s squared. Okay, and then you have 2 minus s plus 3s squared. For this one, it is a binomial, so you can take out the x plus 3, okay, because it exists in both the first term and the second term. So this is what you have. Okay, for this one, you have to generate the binomial for yourself. That is why if you see x minus y here and x y here, how can you make it become something similar? Add the bracket, okay, and you can see it. Now take out x minus y, and then you have 3x plus 8, like this. And then for this one, this time you can see the order is reversed. So you have to reverse the order by change it to c, okay, like this. You can see the sign change here. Okay, this become negative, this is positive. And then take out a minus b, and then you will have 3 minus c. For this one, actually, b plus 2c and 2c plus b is the same, okay? And you can see that this is not yet done. So you actually have to take out a's square, okay, from that. So you have 1 minus 7a, like this. And for this one, this time you are going to do the grouping like this, okay? So you can take out y for the first two terms, and you group these two together, and now you have y times this term plus, okay, add the bracket for it, and then you have x plus z multiplied by y plus 1. Okay, this one actually is hidden here, okay, hidden here. Okay, and then for this one, you group them like this. So you take out f here, and then you have a plus c. And for this one, you have 4 here, and then you have a and c again. So you can take out a plus c, then you have f minus 4. For this one, this time you can see for the first two terms like this, and then you take out 5x, so you have a minus b. And for the later two terms, you will just put them together, and that is why you will have a minus b times 5x plus 1. Okay, for this one, again you group them like this. So you take out m for the first two terms. For the later two terms, you take out p. Okay, you have n plus 3. Okay, and then you know that these two, they are actually equals, so you just do it like a mechanic work. Okay, for this one, again group them like this, and you can see there are so many negative signs. So you take out negative 2x, and then here become 2 plus z. And the later two terms, you take out negative y, okay, and then you have 2 plus z. So this time a little bit tricky for truth. You take out 2 plus z, and then you have negative 2x minus y. And actually you should have a habit of taking out this negative sign to be negative 1, and you have 2x plus y here. So just make a little a rearrangement, so you have 2 plus z like this, and 2x plus y here. Okay, for these two and these two, okay? So basically, you are going to consider the answer like this. Okay, and once again, you can see it will be like this. And do not forget this one, the hidden one. Okay, the hidden one here. And then for this one, this time you have to do a little bit of arrangement. So you have these two, and then these two together. Okay, that is why you have to remove it like this first. Okay, after you move it like this, then you can take out the common factor between them. So you have 3m here, so you have m minus 4n. And for this one, you take out n square, so you have 4n minus m. Okay, so this time you can see that there are something different, so this is rearranged. Okay, that you have to do, you change it to minus. So you have m minus 4n, and then you can have m minus 4n times 3m minus n square. Okay, and then for this one, just like what I have mentioned, you have to rearrange it, so you maybe put these two together, so you have 4c cubed plus 3c minus 6x minus 8c squared x. So you take out c here, and then you have 4c squared plus 3 minus, okay, take out 2x here in this case, so you have 3, and then plus 4c squared. Okay, and that is why you will have, okay, 4c squared plus 3 times c minus 2x. Okay, well, this one, this time you have to group them like this, and you take out 2x for the first one, so you have x plus 3. And then for the latest part, you take out xy from it, so you will have x here plus 3. So you take out x plus 3, and then you have 2x minus xy, and you have to do the factorization once again because both of them contain x, so you have 2 minus y. At the end, put them in order, okay, one item for the first one. Okay, for this one, you have to do a rearrangement first. Okay, do the rearrangement first, this one first, and then this one. So you put them together, you have 15a squared b plus 18a plus, okay, 20ab squared plus 24b. And then you take out the common factor between them, so you have 3a. This one you have 5ab plus 6. For the later part, you take out 4b, so that you have 5ab plus 6. And then you take out this one with you, and then you have 3a plus 4b, like this. When you have three terms, actually, there will be two kinds of grouping. You can group them in 2 and 2 and 2, like this. So, you can see the work will look like this one. And then all of them contain b plus q. So you can take out b plus q, okay? Then you have 1 plus m plus n. This is method 1. And for another method, okay, you can group them in 3. Okay, so this is what you have. Okay, these 3 and these 3. So what will it be? You will see the answer will look like this. Then you have p plus mp plus np plus q plus mq plus nq, and then you can group them together, which means you have p and then 1 plus m plus n plus q times 1 plus m plus n. So you will have this one, okay, 1 plus m plus n times p plus q. You should have the same result if you're doing it correctly, okay? Then for this one, you are going to group down again, and this time you can see that you will group down according to this one, okay, like this. So you have a times b plus 2 plus b times b plus 2 plus 2c squared, and then b plus 2, okay? So that is why you take out b plus 2 here, and then you have a plus b plus 2c squared, okay? And this one, you need not learn it at the moment, but if you're interested, you can just watch it, okay? So this one, you actually have to separate them into 2 items by some trying, okay? So actually this one, you will find out the pattern, okay, easily if you do sufficient practice, okay, like this. And then for this one, you will just generate something like this, okay, and then you will find that it is not that difficult for 2, okay, and you can find it in Form 3. We learn about the coarse method, then you will know how to find it easily. Okay, for this one, you basically have to change it, okay. For example, for this one, you can change it back to x squared and 10 squared. Okay, so you have x minus 10 times x plus 10 here. Okay, and for this one, change it back to 3 squared and 2x squared. So you have the sum and the difference to give you the result. And for this one, you have to do the rearrangement first, and then you can change it to the original, which is look like this, and then you can have the result to be this one. And for this one, change it first. Okay, sometimes it is not that easy for you to look at it, but if you can look at it and you find out the square root of it, then the problem becomes very easy. And always remember, 1 square is always 1. Okay, that is why
this is very common for some of you if you forget. They are actually the same. For this one, this time you have to do factorization first, taking out the common factor. Okay, and after that, you can do the math like normal. Okay, so this is what you should know so far. When you do the math, this is not that very difficult, okay, but you have to take out the common factor before you do the math. Okay, if you take out the common factor, then basically you can find it. It's not that difficult for ch1. Like this, and last one, okay, take out 2c squared, and then you have 1 minus 36a squared. So you have 2c squared, and what is inside will be 1 minus 6a and 1 plus 6a. Okay, for this one, this is little bit different from the previous one. So you have to have this, and then the first one plus down, second one minus down. Okay, so you have 6 plus 1 minus g and 6 minus 1 plus g. So you have 7 minus g and 5 plus g, like this. And for this one, so this is what you have. Okay, and then you have 2x plus x plus y and 2x minus x plus y. So this is what you have. And I guess you can see it. It is very straightforward for ch1. And for this one, this time you're going to use the identity directly. So do not change any difficult term, okay? Do not expand it, because I know that some of you would like to expand it. And then you do the simplification, okay, but this is not what we want from ch1. So that should look like this. And then you have 5a plus 8 and a plus 6. Okay, and for this one, you have to do one more step. So you should know this is actually equals to 4 square x plus 1 square minus 3 square x minus 3 square. And then you can change it to this form. And for this one, group them together. And that is why you will have 4x plus 1 plus 3x minus 3, this one. And the second one will be this one. So when you simplify the term, this is what you have. Okay, so after all, you have 7x minus 5 and x plus 13. Okay, so after this one, you have this one as well. So you have to take out 5 from the problem so that you know this is what is remain. So once again, if you can recognize the square, okay, and then you just use the identity, which means you have this two add together and these two minus. Okay, for this one you have to do the rearrangement first, put the square term together. It means you have this one and this one first and use the identity. Okay, after you use the identity, you can take out x minus y, and that will be x plus y plus 1 at the end. This one, if you are not going to use the calculator, do it like this. Okay, do like this. So you have 99. And for this one, do it with your calculator, and this is what you have. So 100 multiplied by 54, which is 5,400. And for this one, you're going to use the complete square for the factorization. So you have to make sure that you know it will be whether they can match. Okay, whether they can match. For this one, normally we do the first item and do the last item, and then you fill in them and check whether they match. If they match, that means this is the identity that concerns you. Okay, so like this one again, normally you put down the format. So you check whether they match with what you expect. If they match, then that's it. If they do not match, then you try another method. So once again, you can see the way I deal with it will be I always deal with the first one and the last one, and I put back in the middle part. And if they match, then they are the answer. Okay. For this one, you have to rearrange a little bit. Okay. Rearrange it in the order like this, and then you can check whether they match your expectation. Okay. So if they match, then that is what you want to have with the problem. Okay. If they do not match, then that means that is not what we want. Okay, so this one you can see it very straightforward. Okay, and for this one this time, a little bit different, but still you are doing it with the same technique, the same rationale, so that you can check it whether they match your expectation. If they match it, then this will be what you want. The last one here, please take out the common factor first, and then you can see it is very straightforward as well. For true. Okay, for this one, you probably do the first step to be take out the negative sign so that you can factorize it by using the normal skills. So this one, you have x squared minus 2, and then here, and then you consider the last one, just 12, and now you can see that they are what you want. So you have this one with you. Okay, and for this one, please take out the common factor between them. So you have 4a squared plus 12ab plus 9b squared. So this one, once again, you put down the bracket and try to factorize them, okay, one by one. Okay, and if they match, then you can just put down the results like this. Okay, and then for this one, you have to rearrange it, and then you can see this is 8 squared plus 2 here like this, and then that is what you have. And for this one, you can see all of them have R, so probably you take out R first, and have 25R squared plus 20R plus 4, and then just put it one by one. Okay, so you have 2 here, you have 5R here, and then you can see this is what you want. Okay, and for this one, this time you can see this is a whole item. So basically, you should recognize it is what's that, okay, and here. So this is what you should know. And for this one as well. So you have 2 square like this. Okay, and then here and here. So that is why you will have 2x plus 2, like this one plus 1 square, and then you have 2x plus 5 square. And for this one, there are a little bit different, so you have to do it first, and then you do the second part. It means this is what you have. So you have z minus 3 square minus h square. So you have z minus 3 minus h and z minus 3 plus h. But this one, it is a little bit different. You have to put the last term first. Okay, that means put them like this. Okay, put this one first, and then you can see this is the 4y square plus 2xy plus 1 square. 4y and 1 here. 4x square minus 4y plus 1 square. Okay, and then change it back to this, and you have 2x plus 4y plus 1 and 2x minus 4y minus 1. Okay,